Little Miss Recap contains adult language. Little Miss Recap is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hey everybody, welcome to Little Miss Recap. My name is Amy, I'm your host. I'm here today with one of my favorite people, Axel from DVR Daily. What is the name of your podcast? I screw it up every time.
Oh, it's fine.
Daily DVR.
It's Daily
Podcast
DVR.
Network.
It's DVR Podcast Network, and it's Daily DVR, which I used to do daily, but now I do like.
Hence the name.
Exactly right. That's true. But now I do maybe 1 to 3 times a week. It's kind of the master feed because we do a bunch of different podcasts.
And you're on YouTube a lot live now, right?
Yeah, we're doing the YouTube. You know, we try it, see if the kids will like us. I don't know. It's
the kids
fun.
hate me. So. My own kids hate me. How am I going to lure in other children?
I know. It's, you know, we're doing it, and we're going to do a football podcast called Around the Couch. We've been doing that the past couple of years. And I think that'll be fun for the YouTube because people can tune in and comment and stuff like that, you know.
You know what I've noticed too, like my murder show podcast, that does better on YouTube.
Interesting.
People, because I think younger people are into the murder shows. Like my girls are real into murder shows.
Learning murder from a young age. That's what we like.
Yes. Like I always say, there are just generations of women learning how not to be killed.
That's
what we're doing.
Living with fear, the American way.
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
Better hope you don't get murdered, and you better hope you don't get hurt because you probably don't have health care.
There you
That's
go.
how it rolls.
There you go. Yep. You're screwed either way.
So, just real quick, because people love when you talk about television stuff. What are you watching?
Oh, well.
Are you watching in Just Like That?
I have stayed with it. I have actually, my wife left me about 4 weeks ago, and I'm alone in the world of watching this show. It's so
wait,
bad,
let's clarify. Your wife did not leave your marriage.
No, she didn't. She
just left your viewing of And Just Like That.
She just left.
Because you're like, my wife left me, and now I'm just sitting around watching it Just Like That and crying.
She just couldn't take it anymore. And I am, let me tell you, that show, wow, I don't know. It's something. It's something. It's not even Sex in the City. Like, it's lost so much of the parties and New York. Like, it's so insular now. It's such a weird show, but I still watch it. I don't know. It's not hate either. I still kind of like it.
I hate watch it.
Oh, okay. You're hating it.
I hate watch it, but I love hate watching it. So I never want it to end.
Yes.
It could go on for 10 more seasons. I was thinking about this the other day, and I promise we'll get to our documentary, guys. I lured Axel into a conversation about it Just Like That.
Ready.
By saying, what do you watch? And then let's talk about the thing I watch. The thing that I think I have figured out about this show is Sex in the City worked because Michael Patrick King and his team of writers they're not good writers. I'm just going to say that. And they relied heavily on the voiceover to provide us with internal thoughts, exposition, all of it, right? And I think now we don't even have that. And I think the voiceover missing is a big problem.
Yeah, I can agree. Because you know what? It doesn't have, that was kind of like the heartbeat, right? And because it would, the funny thing about it too is like she would be talking about something and that's not quite what happened in the show, but it would make you think. That's kind of what like it did.
Well, and it was
you're right. It made the writing seem more.
It made the writing better.
Like on track than it was.
Yes.
That's the.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they're terrible writers, but they're not fantastic. You know what I mean? It's not Vince Gilligan.
Yeah.
But like and sometimes when you're in that space, you have to rely on the narrative from the character. Yeah. So you need that internal dialogue and that voiceover. And I think without it, we see how bad the writing is.
Yeah, and it's a lot of circular stuff. Like it's just the same thing. It's like over and over again. It's the same things that are happening. Even that they've introduced in this particular show, not just Sex in the City. Like they're regurgitating stuff from last season and the season before of Just Like That, right? Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have to kind of go on their certain paths. And the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing with what's his name? Aiden, right? Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
he was always awful. Like he's always complaining. Everything's a
I
problem
didn't
with
realize
that
he
guy.
was this awful. And this season, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I
he's
see.
real bad.
I was never a fan of either of them. I didn't like Big, or
Okay.
I just felt like she needed to find someone who was more like her. And neither of those guys.
Unlikable.
Well, kind of, yeah. Like a party guy, right? Like a kind of a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
So there was one character, I can't remember who it was on the show, but I think that, and it wasn't even with her. I think, wasn't Kyle MacLachlan, didn't he date like Samantha or something like
He
that?
was married to Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Trey?
I always thought he would have been good with Sarah Jessica Parker. I always thought that
Yeah,
they would
she
have actually
needs-
made it a good couple on the show.
What people don't realize is Carrie is very uptight.
Oh yeah,
She
totally.
needs somebody who's a little uptight with her.
Yeah, she's very
Yeah.
because she is kind of that's the dichotomy, right? Like she's kind of rules based and has this idea of fashion in this world, but she wants to push the envelope, and that
Yeah.
was what was always the push and pull of her, right? And that's kind of like the
Yes.
Big and right.
Yep.
So, but the show now is, I mean, jeez, I can't even. Like, what's up with that lady who wants to have sex with her editor? I don't even understand why. How is that part of the show? I don't even know
Well,
what's
because
going on.
because she's married long, and you can't be married long without wanting to bang your editor.
That's true.
So, all right, let's get into this documentary. That has been in Just Like That corner.
All right, we're ready to move on.
All right. So I brought you into this because I feel like even though these were millennials who were doing this, who started this and everything, I feel like the idea and the lure of Area 51 and stuff is very rooted in Gen X.
Totally. 100%. I agree with you. And I was actually surprised that there wasn't more Area 51 in the Area 51 documentary. They never even had a segment when they were like, BTW, Area 51 is supposed to be a place where aliens are. They just totally took for granted that you knew the whole story, which was a little strange.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. Yeah. Like overall thoughts, they should have had, what was his name? Maddie Roberts. They should have had Maddie kind of talk about why he was infatuated with Area 51.
Yes.
And what, like, he just didn't really talk about that.
Maybe since, see, the thing was weird is like, they had the whole thing started from him watching this Joe Rogan podcast.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And he's kind of goofing on Joe Rogan and the guy who he's interviewing by doing this. But the fact is that the documentary actually had the guy who was on Joe Rogan in the documentary.
Yes.
But they could have had
his
him
name.
explain what Area 51 was. He was
Jeremy Corbell.
Yeah, he was
They
on
give him like a few minutes.
That's what I didn't get is like, because as kind of filming, I made some docs and worked in it before. You think, how are you going to structure this thing? But then again, when I also think, well, maybe that's a choice, right? It's maybe they shot that part, but then they were like, do we need a 15-minute or 10-minute history of Area 51? But they could have done it in like at least a minute.
I was already surprised that this was 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, it didn't need to be 2 episodes, but that's the story of every one of these things.
Every single documentary. Please, like, what is the obsession with the docuseries? Unless you have something like The Jinx or The Staircase or like Making a Murder or something that needs, this did not need a 2-episode treatment. Come on, people.
No, it didn't. But I will say this though, they did they did a good job with I mean, it held my attention.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. Yeah, it held my interest too. Yep. This whole Trainwreck series I thought has been pretty good.
Yeah. Well, my wife
Balloon
wanted me to
Boy
Balloon. My wife has watched all of them, and she says that this is among the top 3. I don't know how many there are.
Okay.
How many
there's
are there
Woodstock
total?
99.
They did Firefest,
which came out a couple
right?
of years ago.
Didn't they do
I don't think they did Firefest.
That wasn't part? Okay. I thought they redid another one part. Maybe not. Well, there's a bunch of them, but she says this was a good one, and I agree too. I like this. Oh, we're finding it out.
Yeah,
Research
I'm gonna look it up.
on
Okay.
nothing more exciting than when someone Googles on a podcast.
You are
We're doing
right.
it.
I think they did. Okay, so they did the Astro World tragedy.
Yeah, okay. That's a Travis Scott thing, right?
Yes, they did Balloon Boy. They did Poop Cruise,
Yep.
which they did Storm Area 51. Now they ranked them, and they have that as number 4.
Oh, okay.
So your wife is close there.
All right.
They have the Cult of American Apparel. They have the Real Project X, which I didn't see either one of those.
My
the Mayor
wife-
of Mayhem, that was a good one.
She said that's the Real Project X one was, it's actually very similar to this, where it was a
Yes.
Facebook post
Yes.
that turned into something else. Yeah.
PI Moms.
Oh, okay.
PI Moms,
That's
yeah.
a new one.
But this is okay. So the intro to this article says oh, I see what they're doing. They're talking about documentaries like Fire Festival.
Oh,
So they
okay,
didn't do
okay.
that.
They
Wasn't
didn't
part
do
of
Fire
it.
Festival.
Right.
They
But
should
they
just
did
go back
do
and
Trainwreck
rename that
Woodstock
one.
99.
You know?
Yeah, they should. They should. Yeah. I would argue the submersible could be under this.
Yeah.
Trainwreck. Yeah.
That was a subway.
All right. All right. So I wrote 2 episodes, really, Netflix. Yeah. A bunch of people are on their way to Storm 51. We see this in the beginning. So we go back in time, 3 months earlier. Valley Plaza Mall, Bakersfield, California. So we did the Bakersfield 3, Becca and I, over on Murder She Watched. And a bunch of people wrote in and said, no offense to California, but Bakerfield's kind of a dump. So like weird shit happens there is what I'm thinking.
Whenever I think of Bakersfield, California, I kind of think it's almost like Blue Velvet almost, or like kind of just like Americana, but
Yeah.
a little, it's got that dark California, maybe culty, deathy vibe.
Under vibe too.
It's a little too
Undertone.
hot, so
yeah.
people's brains start
You know
getting
what? That's
baked.
funny you say that because I'm convinced that's what's wrong with Florida. I think everybody's brain is baked because it's so
I
hot.
think it is. It's white people.
So-
White people shouldn't be in hot places. It does something to our brains. We're both white. We can say this.
Yes,
it does something to your
yes.
brain. Like I'm Irish. I try not ever to even look at the sun too closely.
Well,
I just look out the window and I say, "Oh, there it is." I don't go out
I'm
much.
Sicilian. I could be in the
Oh, okay.
sun.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well,
I can be in the sun. Even
so
though I'm
you got a little
super
bit of it in you.
pasty.
see, so it's okay for
super
you.
pasty.
That's why there's less Italian serial killers.
I'm super pasty because all I do is podcast in my studio.
Yeah, see?
I never get to go out there in
There
that
you go.
sun.
Well, it keeps
All
your
right,
brain
so-
sharp.
Maddie Roberts is working at the vape kiosk in the mall.
Yeah.
And he gets real bored at work one night.
Yes.
And he stumbles upon Joe Rogan's podcast. And he's talking to some guy about Area 51. And he's like, you know what? I think I'm going to ship. He had a ship posting Facebook.
Yeah,
page.
he had a page. Yep.
It was called Ship Posting Because I'm in Shambles.
Yep.
Okay.
And no, I don't think
And
he didn't run. He was just a part of that. He didn't run it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was just
Okay.
a part of it.
So he creates an event. And there's only like 40 people on this page. So he's like, I just thought it would be funny, whatever. He wakes up the next day. It's gone viral.
Yeah.
It's like there's 10,000 people the next day. So we even see Sarah Fraser. Do you know who Sarah Fraser is? She's a podcaster. She does Sister Wives and stuff. She's kind of in Little Miss Recap's
Yes,
orb.
I had heard of her. I recognized her voice before anything else.
So Melinda Ortega is Maddie's mom. Now I need to talk about this mom for a second because she
Thank
looks
you.
like she could be
Okay.
30.
This is what I said to my wife. I said, how the fuck does this lady have a kid this old? This is the real mystery. They should have done a 2-part documentary on her. And also, who does she hire for her interior design? Because what is all that shit on her wall? And then there was something that was like free beer. And then it said, it was like a pit. Did you see this one? It looked like it said eat. but it really said fat. Did you see that? Like it was kind of like
no,
a fuck
that's
you.
kind of great though.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So she's
was like
shopping at the submersive word art store.
Yes, and the tats, the dyed hair. I love both of these people.
I do too. She looked younger than him.
Yeah.
I'm like, she looks younger than her child.
She is pretty.
She's a beautiful woman.
She's pulling off the cool mom thing. That's what I'm going to say to her. And after this documentary series, I hope her Instagram is blowing up, as the kids say, because I'm sure it will be. They should finally. That's what my greatest hope is, that these two people who seem to make nothing out of any of this somehow can, maybe get some Instagram
capitalize
ads.
On it
get a little, have their life be a little bit easier, because I really like this kid. At first, I wasn't sure. But then when I got that he really was joking and he had this weird sense of humor and the Slayer hat that he wouldn't take off, like in every interview, I loved it. I just hung out with kids. Like, he was a 90s kid.
You know who he reminded me of? He had a Jay and Silent Bob.
Totally.
What is it?
Yes. He's like a South Park character or something.
Yes. Like Kevin Smith could have crafted this kid.
I hung out with so many kids like him at Rutgers University in the 90s. It's ridiculous. Like, I could name like 20 kids and my friends would be like, oh yeah, he looks just like him. Like he just is a look.
And you could tell he has a heart too, like, and a brain, because he's kind of like, this is like, he actually thought this out and wasn't just like, fuck it, I'm going to see what happens. Like, I'm not talking about, he's not thinking it out in the beginning, but once it gets big, he starts to think about what can happen. So, Vice picks up the story. They do like a man on the street kind of thing. Zeke Spector's the journalist, and he's like, I was just a producer who wanted clicks and I was following this. So, the town in question here is Rachel, Nevada. It's a little town on the highway closest to Area 51. And there's a restaurant, a camping space, and 10 rooms. That's it. And I feel like I need to go here. And the motel owner is Connie West, and the place is called Ailey Inn.
The Ailey. And I love the way different people pronounced it throughout the documentary. I think the only guy that got it right was the guy at the end, Vito, or whatever his name was.
I was saying the Alien Inn.
Yeah, that's
and
what I was.
And then I'm like, wait a minute.
The
that's
Ailey
not right.
Inn. Yeah.
She says July 11th, people start calling to rent camping spots, and all of a sudden, a lot of people are calling, and it's for this event on September 20th. And she's like, I love her because she's like, I don't have time for this shit. I don't know what's going on.
I was a little perplexed by her, because I felt like if you're getting a run, like you're by Area 51, it's the Alien Inn. So if you're starting to get a run and and someone starts to say like, oh, there's this internet thing happening, then how about you do this? I have 10 rooms. They are available for $1 million a piece with a down payment of $50,000 due within the next hour.
Yes.
And each campsite now costs $5,000. So you want to make a fire festival, you internet kids? You're going to pay for it because you're coming to my land, and it's going to. She had to
have a bunch of acreage, right?
It hit the capitalist part kind of hit everyone late, which I'm not much of a capitalist. So it's like for it to hit me before them, I was like, but she already is in a place called the Alien Inn. Like, what?
Right. You're right. She's already kind of branding herself this way.
I didn't get
this
that.
is like somebody just knocks on your door and is handing you business.
Right. Didn't she, could you imagine when she first built or purchased the Alien? Did someone not say, or did she not knock back some drinks with her friend? It's like, one night, this is going to blow up, and I'm going to have a huge thing out here. But it's like,
how many people really come by and look at Area 51? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So now we see this thing blowing up. Like, it's on the Daily Show. Not more than 10. It's on the Daily Show. Yeah. Miley Cyrus, Elon Musk, Billie Eilish. They're all talking about it.
Do you remember when this happened?
Not
Okay,
at all.
I 100% remember when this happened because
It was 2019,
yes,
right?
and I
Yeah.
totally remember when it happened, and I think I even contemplated
Going.
like, well, checking. I wasn't gonna go, but I was. I
That
did
would mean I have to leave the
I
house.
did have a wife and child. I wasn't all of a sudden 22 again. Actually, if I was 22, I might have gone. I might have thought it would be
Yeah.
fun, but
Yeah.
not that. But I remember contemplating checking the box like I was going to go like for the event, but I was like, I don't want to get all these updates and you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I
And
do
back then we
remember
used to have Facebook used to mail us shit, like email us shit. Like, no, thank you.
not
So
snail
Carrie-
mail. Not,
Carrie Lee is the sheriff, and he's like, this is bad because we only have 12 police officers. Like, this is a nightmare, and there's 11,000 miles in the area. So they're woefully underprepared. So, like, all of this kind of starts to come to a head.
yeah.
We see a rise in alien porn.
Yes, this was, and
Okay.
I also want to say, I don't think that this created alien porn. I think people
don't
already
either.
made alien porn. I think it already
I
existed.
think it started to rise to the top of Pornhub
maybe the
searches.
search.
That's all.
It's exactly
Yeah.
the searches.
People had alien fever. They were just
did.
real
They
hopped
were
up on
getting back
aliens.
into it.
Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. So they decide now to make this a party, and they bring in this promoter called Disco Donnie, and he's the godfather of EDM. He's like, I love when people are like, some people call me the godfather of EDM.
I liked him.
Yeah.
He looked
He's
like the way he walked in his body, it looked like he had been to one too many EDM shows or something. Like he looked like he had been
He looks like he's in
it.
chronic pain.
Yes.
Okay.
It didn't it?
Okay.
It looked like he had not treated himself well during his, but it looked like he had had a great time. I think he had a
liked
great
him.
time.
I liked him a lot better than the guy we meet later.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
He was
Yeah,
honest. I felt like this guy was not sleazy. I felt like he was
I agree.
actually trying to put a show on and thought it would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I have a question here to ask you if you've ever been in this part of the country, because we see Extraterrestrial Highway and like, have you ever been to that part of Nevada?
No, I have not. I've been
Yeah, I
to
haven't either.
Vegas, but I didn't go out there, and we drove cross country to come out here to Oregon. But I have I've never been around Area 51, or I'm kind of, as we discussed earlier, I'm a little adverse to the sun and to desert situations in general. So this was I'm about as interested at going here as I am a McBee party at the Lake of the Ozarks. Those two things to me are about equal in. I would be scared shitless is what I'm trying to say.
I get it.
I would be feel out of touch. Like I just couldn't do it. But I love aliens. See, we haven't talked about that. Are you in? What do you think about aliens?
Okay. I mean, you're going to die when I tell you this. I'm like, whatever.
That's
If
okay.
they exist, like I'm lukewarm on aliens.
Yeah.
If they're there, they're there. If they're not, they're there. My husband is a big believer. He believes that he actually was abducted at some point. He told the story to a bunch of listeners at our meetup. Yes.
Wow.
But I'm kind of like, I don't disbelieve in them. Like I don't know. I just, I don't know.
It's not your thing.
Maybe. It's not my thing. Like, I don't think we're alone in the universe. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
But I don't know if, like, they're in Area 51 and they're trying to make contact with us. Like, I don't know about that.
Okay. That's interesting.
Are you a believer?
Well, see, that's interesting that you say it that way. Because I think as a scientific person, I think with the vastness of the universe,
We're not alone.
there's no way we're the only intelligent life in the that would be ridiculous. Not only would it be ridiculous, it would be a cosmic joke if it's just us. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. It's too big. Like when you start counting the number of stars, when you hear Carl Sagan, things like there's more stars in the universe than there are pebbles of sand on all the beaches in the
Yeah.
world. And then you think for each one of those stars, there could possibly be a planet, right? Or
Yeah.
what different kind
Yeah.
of creatures, of course. But as far as coming to Earth, I don't know.
Do they really want to come
That's
here?
what I mean. The distance in itself, they
Yeah.
would have to be so advanced to come here. And
Yeah.
what do we provide to them? If they could come here, we're not teaching them anything. So, like,
But they'll be teaching us if they can
that's
come
what
here.
I'm saying. So, like,
Yeah.
doing experiments on us or fucking around with us, or the one fun theory that my friend and I always talk about is it's not aliens, it's people from the future. It's time travelers from the future.
Now that
are-
I tend to believe in more. I could believe in
yes.
that.
And scientifically speaking, it would probably be more likely, actually, that could occur than time travel like that, than an alien speech coming, because it's such great distances. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. The reasoning would
Yeah.
have to be. So, do I think that Area 51 has like aliens and stuff? It might have some unexplained things, but I also think there's been so much research into it now that it is just like a military base.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
There mu-
But I think that we were obsessed with the concept of aliens.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I can remember being real into it in like junior and high school.
because there was so little information when we were,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
there's so much. There's so many people
so
who
much.
work there, and you know what I mean?
One of
Like,
those
so
aliens would tweet or something. One of those
they would
aliens would do a TikTok.
They
and
would
we
have
would
been
know.
on Jerry Springer a long time ago. They need to get those ads too. They need to be spawn-conned.
So Maddie and Disco Donnie now get Connie on board with this. They're like, look, we're going to bring a bunch of people out here, and it's going to be a festival, and you stand to make a lot of money. And she's suddenly like, okay, all right,
She's
I'm suddenly
into
into this.
Yeah. And don't forget, this
They,
all stems from one comment that Maddie read. Remember? It was
Yes,
some
that said
and
we
they
should
ne-
make it an EDM.
Yeah. They were
Yeah,
never
party
able
or
to
something.
find that commenter. I wish they would have
Yes.
found that commenter who gave him the idea, because he was just like, yeah, let's do it. Now, I told you I tried at one point about 1998 to throw a festival in
Yes,
Blairstown,
yes,
New Jersey.
You sent me the thing. Yeah.
So the struggle that she went through, because that takes up a large part of this, you know, and putting
Yes.
forth all the money and the
Well, that's good,
bathrooms
because
and,
when we
you know?
get there, I'm going to need you to explain to me.
Okay.
Because I don't know how she lost $100,000.
I
So when we
feel
get
for
there,
her.
you
I
need to
feel
explain
for
it to
her.
me. Okay. So basically, the town, like all the residents, they're really pissed off. And they're like, we only have 20 to 30 people a day through here, if that. How are we going to deal with 1 million? And then one dude is like, this is going to be some late night rough ass party. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So they start a letter writing campaign, and they get the military involved. They go to Colonel Cavan Craddock, which is quite the name. Is he a Top Gun villain?
This guy
So
was fucking serious.
He was serious. Colonel Craddock is like, are
Colonel
these
Craddock.
people morons? This is a military base. We're going to defend it like military people.
There was a lot.
And he's like, the Air Force, or I wrote, the Air Force is like, do not fuck with the Air Force. Okay, just do not.
That's what else do
So-
they have to do? They're in the desert with guns. They just, you know, like
That's true. That's true.
they're gonna
Well,
shoot
now
him.
we meet that guy that you were talking about earlier, Jeremy Corbell. Now, have you come across him before this documentary?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
I do. I as a fan of the UFO stuff, and I've been interested in it. I've heard of this guy or seen him on something or whatever. You know, I don't know.
Is he legit? Is he?
I mean, I don't know if any of these, I don't know how legit any of the people are. I mean, I recently listened to some, it was like, I can't remember whether it was Amazon or the audiobook thing served me like this.
Audible?
My journey behind Audible, my journey in the government UFO stuff, and I was like, I'll listen to this while I go to sleep. And the guy
How
had
do you? What is your algorithm, Axel?
Well, right now I'm actually listening to the history of the United States ESP experimentations. I
Okay.
like listening to, I'm interested in this stuff, but I'm not like
Me
I'm
too.
a cynic about it, you know?
Yeah.
And then I found, but
Yep.
long story short, I found out that the book was like a New York Times bestseller. Like it was #1 on
Oh.
the, people are really into this stuff. But I
Yeah,
do think
yeah.
he is known as a UFO authority. Yes. I think people do
Yeah, I mean,
believe him.
he got his way onto Joe Rogan, so like he must be somewhat well known in his area. And notice I'm not saying qualified or educated. I'm just saying he's well known.
He got on there. Yes, that's true.
So this guy this guy calls Maddie and he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what is going on here? So now shit starts to get crazy, and the alien starts getting death threats. People are acting like idiots. 2 YouTubers live stream from there, and they dox the police on air. People are threatening the police. The counties have to declare a state of emergency. And I, very much like when I watched Balloon Boy, I was like, who's paying for all of these resources?
Well, we'll find
It was a
out,
little wild.
right?
Yeah.
I'm glad they got into that, though, and covered that as well, because that's a
Yeah, we did
consideration.
But we did see government inflation,
Oh, yeah.
happening here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. So Chris Tamano is the police detective dealing with all this. So they get together, all these different branches, and they send the fucking FBI to Maddie's house. And Maddie's like, oh my God, the FBI are here. So he decides that he's going to call, what's the UFO guy? Help me. Jeremy.
Yes.
He's going to call him for some advice. And he's like, dude, just, tell them it was a joke. Tell them what was going, like, be honest with
Right.
them. Like, he did give this kid good advice.
He did. Yeah, totally. Well, I think
so
that's what makes that guy, he wasn't crazy. He wasn't saying, no, we have to find the secrets or anything. He was like, this is the government, man. You've reached a point of no return here. You need to be honest about what your intentions are, which I thought was good because I was worried about the kid.
Well, the funny thing is, though, he says, you need to be honest about your intentions, but just know they'll never be honest with you about Area 51.
Well, that's not their job.
You just can't take the conspiracy out of the theorist, I guess. So he panics and he convinces the FBI that this is a musical event and it's going to be like a music concert. So they decide to rebrand this as Alien Stock. Because and Maddie says, he's like, the FBI told me if shit goes down and somebody storms Area 51, like, I'm on the hook for it.
Yeah.
And I'm a 19-year-old kid working at a fucking vape shop or whatever. How old is he? 22 at the time? I don't even know.
Alien Stock, to me, it still sounded a little porny or something. It kind of sounds like it's like chicken stock, like alien stock. You know what I mean? It sounds like ground up aliens. A little. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe.
So the press really gloms onto this. Vice makes a documentary about it. There are bands reaching out. They're getting sponsors. Pornhub wants to sponsor for $70,000. Wow. Imagine having Pornhub money.
There you go.
They have a lot.
They do have a lot of money.
So now they get permits. Oh, that was the best. Everybody's like, they're not going to get permits for this. But I kind of understood when the sheriff was talking about it, like the predicament these people were in, because they were like, they're coming.
Right.
Whether we give them a permit or not. So if we give them a permit, then the promoters are on the hook for that money.
Yeah. Well,
and if we don't,
they're trying to do it by the book and keep because they have and also though, I think it was also because they felt like they were not dealing with serious people. Like maybe the big promoter was serious, but the other people weren't.
Yeah.
So it's a way of making them be serious about it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that always gets you. When my experience, when I did the festival thing, that was where it stopped for us. We were going to do
with
this
the permits
and the town council having to give us the permits to be able to have this event on a specific piece of land because of the insurance, the liability, all that. That's what it's all about. The insurance alone is millions of I mean, anything happens, you're
Because you
liable
could have
for
like
it.
you could have a Woodstock 99 situation
Yeah.
on your hands where
And
people are
yeah.
getting injured and abused and
And that's too. It's not just people like someone dies of a heart attack or it's someone attacks
Mm-hmm.
someone, gets hit by a car. Or there's bad
Mm-hmm.
weather. It's
So
not.
is that why Connie gets so Connie says she gets a $100,000 bill for security?
Yeah, because you have to put down money ahead of time for all of this stuff. Now, luckily, we were a bunch of kids. The only thing we did is we actually got, this was 1999. We were doing this in New Jersey. It was going to be in Blairstown, New Jersey, which I think is near
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania. And
It sounds familiar to me.
yeah, and it was going to be called the New Bridge Festival. My friend just sent me the poster. It was so funny. But we went to the town council and we had to present it to them. And in the end, the town lawyer said, we've decided not to do this because of the liability. Even if you were able to get insurance, we think that we would then be on the hook for it. We just don't want, and we don't want this many people here. We also don't think you'd be able to contain how many people come. Because we actually got the Roots to play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I can't remember.
my
I think it was
God.
through this kid at the time. This guy's named Brian Marcella, and he is a jazz pianist. He still is, I think, in Brooklyn and stuff. I looked him up the other night, but he knew he played with a lot of people, and he was going to play. He had played with that band. What are they called? Medeski, Martin, and Wood. Do you ever hear of them?
I don't know that
They
band.
played with
No.
like the Grateful. They were like a jam kind of like the Spaghetti Incident. I don't know if you ever heard of that either. They were like kind of jammy bandy.
Okay.
But yes, so I totally empathize and sympathize with her because you have to shell out all. Luckily, we didn't. We said we're not doing anything until we get this first. But she had the
she
permission,
shelled this out.
so that's why
Yeah.
she did it because she got everyone's permission. I almost feel like I also kind of felt like at the time that a little bit that was a shitty thing that the town did because it was her that was going to have to shell out all this money and everything, and they kind of knew that. So it was
Right, because it was on her property.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that was where it came with.
But she wanted it. She probably
That's the
fought for it to
thing.
be
Yep.
approved.
That's the thing
Yeah.
is that she thought this was going to be and I don't know. We'll get to that too. But whether she gets any money in the end, I doubt it.
I doubt it. So she's in a panic and she gets hooked up with Frank DiMaggio.
There you go.
And he's exactly what you imagine.
Whenever you meet a guy and the first thing he says is, no one fucks with me and I'll fuck with anybody. That's a good guy,
Yeah. Just an extra from The Sopranos.
Yes.
That's all you have to
100
think
Oh,
of.
I grew
Yep.
up with this dude too in Jersey. Are you kidding me?
Yep. So this guy is a self-proclaimed big shit, and he wants to help Connie, who's in over her head. But he needs to see what's going on here. So he comes up, and Donnie Disco gets one look at this guy, and he's like, I'm out. I'm out.
He knew. Donnie
Yep,
Disco
he knew. So they meet, and Frank realizes that they don't have much going on here, and this is happening in 14 days.
Yeah, the time is
So the meeting goes haywire. I don't know what happens, but they end up throwing Connie out. Maddie walks off. Everybody's pissed off. And they decide they're going to move this to Vegas.
When this part of the show happened, I said to my wife first, I was like, can you rewind? What the fuck just happened?
What just
I
happened?
don't understand. It's like they sat down and they just did not get immediately just start. And,
They immediately clashed.
And Maddie too. He was like, I don't know what happened, man. All of a sudden, everyone was yelling at each other. It was
because you brought in an extra from The Sopranos
this was
to handle
nuts.
this negotiation. So Maddie has a decision to make now, and he's on the local news for some reason. I don't know what's going on. So in the end, they decide that they're going to move it to Vegas.
Yes.
But Connie's like, I just wrote $100,000 in checks, and guess what? I don't have that money.
So she has
And so
to do
this needs to happen here.
Yep.
So can Connie pull off a music festival? No, she can't. She has absolutely no connections.
No. But the other guy surprisingly did get Bud Light, and it looked like
Yes, he
really
did.
legit. Like that's the crazy thing is that that is this business and show business in general. Sometimes you meet a guy like DiMaggio here who is a total creepo. You're like, what the fuck is going on? He starts fighting
Yeah.
everyone. But then guess what? He actually gets Bud Light and throws this 10,000 person party for this and makes Maddie a king for a day. But it didn't seem to benefit Maddie or anyone.
No.
But probably DiMaggio.
It probably benefited him.
Yeah.
Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. So everyone starts suing each other, of course, because, that's how we make money. And Maddie walks away, and Connie says, Maddie could walk away. This was bonkers because it was his idea. I thought he would have more. He'd be on the hook for something. Nothing. He could walk away without
because
anything.
I don't think he signed anything, right? Like she just agreed, okay, you can use my land. And by the time it had come, I guess they never incorporated it into a festival or anything like that.
Yeah, no. So did you get a load of some of the people who, just these extras that they were talking about, like Unical?
Yes. Unfortunately, I've run into quite a few of these people.
So you went from growing up with guys like Maddie and DiMaggio
they were all mixed
to going out to Oregon to being with people like Unical.
No, I met a lot of people like that in New York and New Jersey and stuff like that.
Okay.
You kid? I mean, I feel
like that's a more whimsy West Coast thing.
I mean, it is, but I think that people who like to say they're multidimensional sexual beings who exist on a realm of pleasure, I mean, they can be anywhere, Amy. They don't East Coast,
anywhere.
West Coast,
the
flyovers. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it all. They're multidimensional. They were
it's hard
very
to make
funny.
a life. It's hard to make a life as a multidimensional sexual being in like Idaho, but
well, with Facebook,
I'm sure there's many,
and OnlyFans, you can do anything.
It's true.
I liked it. I thought one of the things I really because I looked up the director here of this, and he had done a bunch of. I think his name was Jack McGinnis. Is his name? I think he had done a bunch of other. He is a veteran of these type of documentaries, and he's done both the serious and the more maybe a little bit more humorous, a little bit more strange. He's done a ton of these. So I thought this was I thought those people were great. And I thought that they added the one Australian guy who was just looking at his phone the whole time and going, "Oh yeah, man." Just the idea, because we do have this whole thing, but one thing we even haven't talked about a lot is the actual storming of Area 51.
We're getting to it.
Which is not, but the documentary, like it kind of introduces it and then goes a totally different direction.
Yep.
And then comes back to it. But they kind of bring us to it.
So basically you have these people, this sect of people who are like, we're going to Rachel. Like, we didn't sign up to go to Vegas, like a sponsored event. Bullshit. We're going to go to Vegas and we're tearing down Area 51.
Exactly.
Like, this is the mission and we're doing it.
They were not for an EDM festival.
No. So the Las Vegas event is in 2 days. Everybody, like I said, is going to Rachel. On the day of the event, the sheriff that we met in the beginning pulls over a pickup truck full of guns.
Shocker.
And he talks the guy into letting him keep the guns until the show's over, because that's really the only law we have around guns is, can I just hang on to them for you, brother, while you go to the festival?
Can you just imagine people like just think like, what? You convinced him to let you hold on to the guns? It's just so strange, but
it's so strange. So it's 3 a.m. and now they're getting ready for these idiots to storm Area 51. And basically it ended up being a big womp womp.
They did their
because
Naruto.
There's like a couple hundred people that like run towards it and then they just literally stop.
Yeah.
Do you know Naruto? Okay, we're done.
Do you know Naruto? Do you know that anime?
I know the reference.
Okay.
I don't know the anime, but I know the Naruto run.
I remember this from back in the day when I taught high school. In 2007, the kids were crazy Naruto, and they like, and my son actually had the costume that he wears in his interview.
Yeah.
My son wore that one Halloween,
Okay.
I think when he was like 7 years old. So I thought that was kind of cute and fun, and it cued me into what this guy, the whole meme stuff that follows through this whole thing, the internet vibe, which is that's what is interesting, is because it's like a cross between the Gen X Area 51 and the later generation memification internet stuff. It's like,
Yeah, and there's also this element, and I always appreciate when they do this in documentaries. There's this element of like, we're gonna troll the older folks who were born in 1900s like us, and they don't know about technology, so we have this like leverage over them, because some of the sheriffs are like, "What is a meme?" and they don't understand. I'm like, this would be me. I would be totally caught up in this and not understand any of it.
Yep.
So meanwhile in Vegas, they're having fun. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people there.
Well, it was free entry too, and it's Vegas.
Yeah,
so,
and it's in Vegas.
10,000 people means just that 10,000 people like walked by it when you're in Vegas.
Did they say 10,000 people?
Yeah, they said 10,000 people came to the one in Vegas.
I missed that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. They could have just been on the strip wandering around, went in there for a free drink.
Yeah.
Because maybe they were offering one free drink. So, okay. In the end, this cost Lincoln County $250,000. Now, Lincoln County, they had to man up. They had to do, I believe that. $250,000 in extra man hours and all that shit seems reasonable to me. Connie wins $3.4 million from suing Frank. That seems excessive.
It seems a bit excessive, and also then they cut to Frank saying she's never getting a penny.
I'm not paying her.
Right?
Yeah, it's like I'm not.
But you wonder.
He goes, put me in jail. I'm not doing it.
You do wonder though, did she get anything? Because she didn't seem too upset. Did she get anything from the company? Did she? They said 3 to 4,000 people made it to Connie's festival.
Yeah,
but it didn't seem like. Did they pay? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought they said less than that. I thought they said only a few hundred people.
No, I think it was a few, maybe. How many people stormed Area 51?
Oh, only a few hundred people stormed Area 51.
Okay.
So you're right. Maybe there was more at the festival.
Yeah, there's a lot. With all of these 3 major events happening in our lives, Amy, it's a lot to keep track of. When you have so much intelligence happening in one specific area of the world.
I know.
It's almost like a black hole could have been created of stupidity, but in the
100%.
end of fun, because at least the people, it looked like some people had some fun.
Yeah, I agree. Are you ready for the enraging fact?
Yeah, I know where you're going.
The U.S. military claims this cost them $11 million. I want to jump out my window right now.
I know.
What
such bullshit.
did they spend $11 million on? Fuck this.
Come on. In the military, a porta potty costs like $14 million or something.
I know. I know.
It's all bullshit.
It's all fake money.
Yeah.
I always say it's always fake currency. I worked in television. You worked in television. And one of the things I tell people all the time is, when we had our political window open, so I worked on the sales side, when the political window was open, which started in like it got wider and wider as the years went on, but it used to be like April because you'd get the primaries, and then it would be like it would open again in like September. From September to, let's say, election day, we literally could charge these people anything we wanted, and they would pay it, no questions asked.
Yeah.
And I feel like we see that in health insurance, right? Like these hospitals and doctors can bill insurance companies whatever they want, and they'll pay it. And so, like, is that what the military's doing? Just making up fake numbers? Like, oh, this cost, I don't know, 11 million.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting too, because you do have the whole storm Area 51. We want to get to the secrets that the government has. The military is hiding things from us. And then the result of all of this is the military then extorts more money, tax money from us.
Yes.
It's like
when you
this
think
only
about
made it worse.
When you think about it, all the extra manpower and stuff. Okay, you know what, Axel? I'll be generous and give them $1 million.
Yeah,
11 million?
They're just moving shit
because
around.
Colonel Craddock or whatever had to go to one meeting somewhere. What do you fly a Lear jet?
They have their, the military black budget is like 4 times the national, but they can do whatever they want. They have all the money. But that's something I wanted to ask you. You have this whole thing of storm Area 51, find out the secrets. Whenever people say this, and as a person who is interested in, like, if they all of a sudden said, hey, look, this is some stuff we found. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck am I going to do about it? Like, what would all these people do?
Right.
Say they got to the gates of
What are you going to do?
Right. Like, say they got to the gates, and just as they were about to do their Naruto thing, someone came running out and said, okay, listen, you're right. We give up.
No. An alien came out.
Right. An alien came out and said, you are right. There are aliens here. Everyone can come in for a tour. I mean, they're just going to get more YouTube clicks, right? Like, they're not actually they're not going to solve the world's problems. They're not going to, it's not going to it's not going to enlighten anyone or make anyone's life better that there's aliens. So that to me is what I thought was kind of cool is at the end of it, they showed a little bit of January 6th. They showed a little bit of other incidents where people have gotten out of control. Right?
Yes.
Through cult thinking or something like that. And it makes you think, it's like, because I turned to my wife and I was like, imagine if all these kids got together and said, hey, let's get health care. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
yes.
Let's get affordable housing. Hey, let's get
I mean, we tried that though. We tried that. We had the Million Mom March. We have a lot of stuff.
I know, but it's just kind of funny that the mentality, like human beings, the way we think, right? Like, we're going to get the thing, but what are you actually going to do? Like, if they did get the information, if they stormed it and got it, what would have they done?
I have an idea. Why don't we all storm voting booths in November?
Right, exactly, right? But that's what makes, that's why I liked this, because it gave us that little bit of an ending where it told us about the $11 million for the military, where it showed, and it kind of made you think, okay. And then in the end, it's really like
Maddie made $1,700 too,
but
that's it.
And it was a joke for him. It was a joke, and he just wanted people to have fun, Yeah. So it's kind of like maybe maybe in the end it worked. Like, people did have some fun,
Why do I feel though that what's his name, Frank DiMaggio? Why do I feel like Frank DiMaggio really pulled one over on Maddie and he made out like a bandit?
I totally, and that's the one thing I was going to say is it would have been nice for them maybe ask, so Frank, how much money did you make? Because he probably could have said, I didn't make anything, right? Because of the lawsuits. But it would have been nice to at least give us a hint of that, because I kind of felt the same thing. I was like, I bet you that was a pretty big deal. Bud Light and like that's
and 10,000 people. And
he probably made a little.
And I
bit
mean,
of money.
Vegas has the infrastructure.
Yes,
Help me.
Infrastructure.
Yeah. Thank you. It has the infrastructure. Like you don't need to go rent porta potties and do all this and like Vegas has some of that.
Yeah, you just
so
find an
what
event
is the
space.
overhead for this? I wonder, did any good bands play?
Well, I don't know. I guess. Well, and that's the funny thing too. It seemed like that was more EDM, but there were bands playing at the Area 51 one. It seemed a little bit more Woodstocky, Which, wow. But they did have fun. It was fun when the YouTubers were when the cops were just watching the YouTubers film each other.
Yeah.
That part
yeah.
was very funny.
We can have fun with this kind of stuff.
That was fun. They at least had a good time.
I think I need to like get in my tub and just calm down. I'm so worked up I can't even say infrastructure. That's how burned out my brain is today. Jesus. You'll appreciate this. I was on a podcast yesterday and I was guesting on someone else's pod and we did a whole memory lane of soap operas.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, it was so fun. It was so fun.
Yeah.
And I went into it like, guys, I hope you don't expect me to remember like a lot of details and names and stuff. But once I got in there, Axel, I was like, boom, 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 boom.
Man.
You remember this person married this person, had this baby, switched this baby, got a different face, killed this person. Like I remembered everything.
Those were the days. I was such an
Those
All My
were the
Children
days
fan.
of our lives.
That was my
All My
soap.
Children, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom got
Were
me
you
into it.
really happy when Erica Kane finally won her Emmy?
I actually was. I was
The
always
strike
rooting.
is over. It's Susan Moji.
I was always rooting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this.
You're welcome. This was a lot of fun to watch. My wife and I
was a lot of
enjoyed it, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
I love how your wife is kind of like by proxy on the show every time you're on.
She's on all
Like
of my
I value
shows.
her. I value her opinions.
Yep.
I value her takes. Yes, I'm
gives
very
me
happy to have her.
my best ideas, and that's
Yep.
why I married her.
Yep.
Or that's why she married
What
me.
are you podcasting about right now?
Well, we are just about to enter into the world of Alien. We're going to be covering Alien Earth, the new FX
okay.
show. And we just finished, let's see.
You finished
We just
Duster,
finished
right?
Duster, which
And
unfortunately.
they didn't renew it. How about that?
I know. That was too bad.
That's sad.
It is sad. I don't know. TV is crazy right now. But there's so much other stuff coming out. And we did Sirens too, which was fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Covered that. That got some Emmys.
I'll put a link in my show notes, guys, if you want to check out what Axel's done. And
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you've done so much scripted stuff that was really
Yeah,
good.
We've done a
Yeah.
ton. And we're gonna have you. We want to have you on in September. We're gonna be doing what's it called? The
Oh no, what?
the HBO show from the Mayor of Easttown guy.
Oh yeah, with Mark Ruffalo.
Yes, Mark Ruffalo. It's like
Did I say
not
Gruffalo?
yeah.
I said Gruffalo, didn't I?
No,
yeah,
Ruffalo.
yeah.
You said Ruffalo.
Like I said Mark Gruffalo, like the book
you
The
did.
Gruffalo.
Mark,
yeah.
the Gruffalo.
Yeah.
It's like called.
That's
It's
a great
not
book.
SWAT. It's like something team or something. I don't know.
It's
But it's like a murder mystery detective.
isn't it like Grit or
It's a one word something or
I want
other.
to say it starts with the G.
But we're going to be covering that definitely.
Okay.
We'll be
Yeah,
covering that,
I can't
too.
even find it on his IMDb, but it's definitely him,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Oh,
coming up.
upcoming.
Yeah.
Task
Force.
Task.
There
Yes.
it is. Task. That's going to be a lot of fun. And
Okay.
we'll be doing football too. I'm excited. Are you a fan of any sports at all?
So there was a period in my life where I was a diehard Eagles fan.
Okay.
But my husband doesn't watch, and I don't really watch it. Like I haven't watched in years. We watched the Super Bowl when they
Yeah.
were in it, but that was it.
Okay.
But I know I have a freakish knowledge of how football works
Yeah.
from like the time I was really engrossed in
We
it.
love football.
But yeah.
It's fun to talk
Yeah.
about. It's interesting too because I'm not like a typical like footballish type of guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we were just talking about soap operas and this kind. I love talking about this kind of and reality
Yes.
shows and all that kind of stuff. But I grew up on football, and I think we have a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
time talking about it with that kind of
That's cool.
perspective. You know, we
Yeah.
always like
Who's your team?
The Jets. I'm a Jets fan.
Of course.
It's from
Yes.
birth. I
New Jersey, you gotta, yeah.
love it. But I've seen
that
my
how it
fair
works,
share
like-
of Eagles.
Is that how it works? Like if you're in New York, you are Giants. And if you're in New Jersey, you're Jets. Is that kind of how it works?
You know what? Typically, the Giants were. I mean, they're both really northern New Jersey, and I guess it's southern New York because western and northern New York is Buffalo Bills. Everyone forgets that the
That's
Buffalo
true.
Bills are in New York.
That's true. Yeah.
So upstate New York is Buffalo, New York City, but actually most people from Long Island are Jets fans because they had
Okay.
their training facility at Hofstra for many
Okay.
years.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it works out. But mostly the Jets are always shit on, and the Giants are like the kings of everything. But I mean,
saw the Giants a
sports.
couple times. I went to the Meadowlands when the Eagles were playing.
Oh yeah,
A couple times.
yeah.
Yeah, you're in enemy territory there.
Oh,
when you're an Eagles fan.
totally.
You want to keep a real low profile.
Well, Eagle, man, I'm telling you, there's very few times I've ever been scared being at a football or a baseball game, and they were
And you
both
went to the
in
link?
Philadelphia. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh
I
boy,
know,
Philly
I know.
fans.
I was at the link one time, and I'm like, I'm on your side.
Yes,
Why are you
it is a
terrorizing
different
me?
world. Like Jets fans are crazy, Giants fans, but Jets and Giants fans, a lot of big guys smoking cigars, drinking beers, doing bets in the thing. That's how it was growing up.
Like Frank.
Yeah, exactly. But then you go to like Philly, and it's like young guys jumping off the rafters, throwing Molotov cocktails across the field.
It's crazy.
It's like insane.
It's crazy.
Philly's crazy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's Philly for
And we
you.
love them, but then if they lose, we want to burn them
There
down.
you go.
And sometimes if they win, we want to burn
Exactly.
them down.
You just Phillies are
whatever
crazy.
way the wind's blowing.
There's something in the cheesesteaks. That's what I always
There
say.
is.
They're delicious.
All right, my friend. Thank you again. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
This has been
We'll see you
wonderful.
guys.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Little Miss Recap. If you'd like to support the show, the best way you can do that is to join our Twin Flame universe, which is our Patreon, Supercast, and Apple subscription feeds. The links for those are in the show notes. You get ad-free episodes and a ton of bonus content. You can also subscribe to the feed so you don't miss an episode, share the show with a friend, and leave a 5-star review. To contact the show, please email me directly at amy@littlemissrecap.com or join our Facebook group Backdoor Friends. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.